Hey, 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 welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to see why everything's playing out the way that it is. Now, if you forget the word of the video, it'll always be in the description box along with all other important information. Now, for those of you that are interested in coaching, my shadow healing coaching program that includes inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities to heal the effects of trauma, as well as we do oracle spreads, and my students get readings throughout the coaching program to make sure that they're on the right track. Well, unfortunately, it's closed right now, but you can fill out the link in the description box if you want to get notified for when the next time we do enrollment. I don't know when that's going to be, though. It could be a month, it could be a month and a half, it could be 2 months, around there. All right. Thank you for that. Also, know, like I said, if you wanted to enter into winning a reading with me, you have to also realize that all readings are done live. So if you want it private, you have to send me your questions the day before, so I know what they are. And I never say anyone's name just because some people do want their readings private. All right. I wanted to say that because a lot of times people ask me about that. And when you see the word winner underneath your comment, you'll have to email me. And the email again is in the description box, along with all other important information, as I said. But I'm just saying it again because a lot of times people miss that part for whatever reason. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. The word of the video is impatient. Impatient. Well, I feel as if you're connected to someone that really thought by now that you would have come back. And they're so sure. They were so sure how crazy you were about them. You were so sure. And I feel like you were. I feel like there was a really strong soul connection, and this person just crapped all over it. And so they got a little bit cocky. And now they're getting impatient because a lot of time has gone by. So I don't know whether or not you just got a divorce, you ended a relationship, someone died. I don't know, but it's almost like you're free. And this person has a lot of anxiety because I feel like they are attached to someone too, but the person that they're attached to has no intention of leaving the connection. So your person thought when you were free that they were going to run into your home, kind of run into your place, because that's the way that they do things, to be honest with you. There's no rhyme or reason. They don't really close out any type of connection that they have. They just kind of leave, or they make the other person break up with them, where, they act very passive aggressive. And so that, the person that's normally with them loses their temper. And then, that gives them a reason why they can leave. So what's happening is that you didn't come back and that karmic isn't who they're attached to is not leaving them either. So what they thought was going to be a temporary situation, they're seeing is become a permanent situation, and they don't like it because no one is treating them like, I guess, how they used to. They used to put this person on a pedestal. So the energy there is impatient, and I feel like you're over it already, to be honest with you. That's really what I feel like. I feel like this reading, like you're over it. You're like, I'm not interested in, you want to come back, you don't want to come back, here are my cards. could really care less. When you were dealing with this person, they were defensive, unable to actually even have a conversation. Again, they were defensive over anything. So, and I feel like they were defensive because you would try to have a conversation with them and then to like find out what was going on within your connection, and they would dance around it. They would avoid the question. And then when you would push, they would become defensive and say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about this. I'm not talking about this now," and get all like where you knew to like back off. Again, so it's the defensive, withdrawn. Again, all these ways to make sure that they weren't giving you anything, to push you into submission. So it's like they wanted you on their terms. That's what it looks like, to summarize it. Didn't even really want a relationship. It sounds like they just wanted a hot and passionate connection. That's what it looks like here. And I say that because they're withdrawn, because they don't really know what they want to do. They're sitting on the fence. It's like if they're making the karmic leave, it's because they don't really know whether they want the karmic to 100% be it to be over. They want to see how things are with you first, which is almost a situation that wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying? Because this person always goes back to the karmic. It's just they get that karmic to, throw a temper tantrum, fight with them, carry on, and, the emotions get the best of them. But then the karmic always comes back, and they have to do very little to actually, ask for forgiveness, and that's the energy there. So they didn't really know what they wanted. They were sitting on the fence because, again, if they knew what they wanted, they would have just left. But they want the karmic to do it. They want the karmic to do it because, like they said, they never close out anything. Yeah, you don't trust this person. So that was the first thing. You felt like started to feel really uneasy in the connection because they wouldn't even have a conversation. They weren't even telling you what was going on in the connection. You just knew that they weren't consistent and they didn't really want to talk about anything. It wasn't even the consistency, because I don't think that you saw each other that often. Maybe again once a week, twice a week, but it was like it was easy for this person to actually see you, but when you actually spent time with them, it was like spending time with nobody because they wouldn't get deep. So you knew that there was something going on because you could tell. Yeah, that making you feel undervalued because they were giving you breadcrumbs. And they were actually trying to do that in hopes that you would give them more. This person's clearly used to being with people that are on a lower vibration, especially with that karmic. If the karmic just throws a temper tantrum and then, feels bad for the way that they react and then eventually comes back like a puppy dog, this is what they're used to. They're used to people chasing them. They're used to people giving to them so that they can elevate their ego. And so yeah, it's like you're like it's either I'm going to be in this relationship and I'm going to be trapped in this relationship, or I need to be not in this relationship. The irony is that now your person feels trapped with that karmic because they really thought that they were going to be able to finagle. This person thinks that they're so smart. They think that they're so clever, that, oh, all I'll have to do is manipulate this person so that they overreact, they yell at me, they create everything, and I won't yell back at them. I'll just leave because I'll be like, oh, well, you're screaming at me. Try and stir things up with you. When really it's like they don't have plan to give you anything except for passion. Again, and it's like you found out that they were like still with somebody else. And the problem is that I don't think that this person was just with the karmic. I feel like this person tends to be with a lot of different people and always just has that karmic on the side. So it's almost like not worth reading anymore, to be honest with you. It's like this is what they did, but let's see if they're going to do anything. And we're only going to pull like three cards. Did it mean anything? I don't feel like it meant anything. I feel like this person got caught up in the lust. I wish I could fix things between us. Yeah, and now I feel like they can fix things with you because the karmic isn't leaving and you're not coming back. If anything, you're like, you see this person for who they are. You're like, you're a liar. You never left that person. You tell everyone that you're leaving that person, you're divorced from that person, you're separated from that person, and the karmic knows this. Doesn't care as long as they don't leave, as long as they keep getting paid. So the only person that gets screwed out of the deal would be you, but every single other person that this person runs to because they run to a lot of people. You're not the first person that they did this to. This is why they're cocky and they think that they really smart and can outsmart everyone. Say, well, I'm going to manipulate the karmic like this. They know that the karmic would act like that because they've done this to the karmic before. It doesn't mean anything. It's like your person's like addicted to drama. Repeated cycles. It's like like that's what I'm saying. One more. You inspire me in so many ways. So they do like you as a person, but it's almost like this person wouldn't doesn't want to really cheat with somebody that's on a lower hanging fruit. It's just they give very little, and that's normally who they attract. So I feel that they, really like you and see you on a high vibration. They didn't want you to know what your worth is. Yeah, water underneath the bridge. It's like what's done is what's done. They act like they don't care, but really down they do. But the truth is, what's willing this is passion and desire. And this person knew that they were never going to really be able to be in this connection because they never really let go of that karmic. And I feel like you were getting close, they were having feelings, they were seeing that nobody is doing anything. And so they also knew that the karmic wasn't going to give up. They've been done this a million times before, on and off for a very long time. So even if you got together with this person, the karmic would be right there sitting there waiting. And at any given time, whatever you would say something that this person doesn't like, they would run to the karmic because that's what they did to the karmic. This person just winds up like recycling like people. They'll go out with a person, they'll treat them well, but then they go back to the karmic. And then if the karmic yells at them, then they'll go back over to that person's house. They'll eat dinner, they'll sleep over, they'll stay away. Then the karmic eventually comes looking for them, and then they feel guilty, and then they go back to the karmic. And then they get bored of the karmic, and then they'll come back to you. And then if you have a problem with them bouncing back and forth, well, now they have to get a different person so that now everyone's fighting over them. So it fills their ego. This person is like an ego-driven, crazy person that just is fueled by their passion. That's it, by their addictions. And that's why they never really gave you anything. So we have to ask, why did you attract this person? Because not even, it's like I don't really see them doing anything when I asked. It's like they have mixed feelings for you. And I feel like part of it is I admire you because I like you because you are on a high vibration, and I love the fact that you were into me because I normally don't have people that are on such a high vibration into me. However, I don't like the fact that you're on a high vibration because that means that you make me step it up, and I don't really want to do that because then it ruins the entire dynamic of what I'm trying to do here. I'm really trying never to leave the karmic, not 100%, because I'm comfortable there. I built a life with that person, even though I really didn't want to. But that person allows me to go out and cheat. They look the other way on a lot of things. So I don't ever really want to leave 100% because I know you wouldn't allow that. However, it's like if you came to me, I would give you, but what they saw was you weren't coming to them. You weren't going to give them anything. You don't care so much about the passion and the desire unless there's honesty. If there's honesty and there's a way you feel like safe, but this person didn't make you feel safe. If anything, they made you feel undervalued. This person expects that everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's just water under the bridge. It's the past is the past." No, it's not. It's because of the past. You won't be with this person in the future. And that's what they weren't expecting. And they're not used to that because they've never had somebody on a higher vibration like actually like them as much as you like them. And they love that and they loved who you are. But like you said, this person doesn't want to grow up. So they purposely sabotage the relationship. So again, all relationships teach us something. So we have to say cleansing your inner child wounds. Number called confusion. We picked 6. Vulnerability, water, self-love, time and attention. Well, clearly this situation was to help you clear your energy. And the clearing of the energy was, again, you didn't love yourself enough. So you had to give yourself self-love. And the reason why is because it was the environment that you grew up in was very confusing because they didn't give you the time and the attention. There was no one really around. So when you went through difficult times, and you needed somebody to be there, no one was there. And when you again needed to be vulnerable, no one was there, and no one could deal with it either. And water is to learn how to go with the flow of life, that there's a flow. When we grow up without the support, without the love, well, then we tend to want to control things. We then try to take matters into our own hands. And I just feel like this person, it was just a karmic to come into your life to help you cleanse your own energy and to make sure that you gave yourself the time and the attention so that somebody else would come in and they would treat you. If they're giving yourself the time and attention, you're giving yourself the self-love so that when someone comes into your life, you can be vulnerable. They will show up and it won't be confusing. This relationship was confusing right from the get-go. That's how you knew that there was something off. So you didn't reap any of the negative karmic consequences. But because I'm like so annoyed with this type of reading, because we've been getting a lot of this, I want to know what the karmic consequences are for this person, if there is any. Because you're not going to be with them. This was all about you cleansing it, integrating the spiritual lesson, giving yourself the self-love. What was the karmic consequence? Well, use my deck, this like soul healer deck. Let's see. So oracle cards are a lot bigger, as you can see. All right, we're gonna go right from the middle of the deck, and it is light. It's again, I feel like light to me is love, right? Love and light is someone that is full of light, is someone that's full of energy. And I feel like this person is definitely going to feel the loss again because now they're stuck with the karmic. And the karmic, someone that controls and someone that looks the other way, in order to keep their place. Well, they have a dark energy. They're of a low vibration, which is why your person doesn't really ever want to stay there. I don't even want to call them your person. I'm just calling them your person to keep the story straight. But, it's like that. You know what I mean? It's they don't want they don't want to give up their cushy lifestyle. They don't want to give up the comfortability. But now it's almost like they have no choice but to stare at that karmic and realize that they're not going to get out of that. And even if they do run to another person, it's never going to be someone of your high caliber. And that's again, so if you are full of light, the Promethean fire is all about the passion. And I feel like this person was a karmic mate that had the option to rise up to be a twin flame. Because when I see Promethean fire, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of desire, and that's what this person was fueled by with you, why they didn't want to let you go. But when this energy is channeled, well, it's channeled into purpose. So of course the chemistry is really good with the karmic. Yeah, I mean with the twin flame. And it also could be with a karmic because again, the physical attraction is off the hook. But because this person decided to stay in a low vibration, they lose the desire. They're gonna miss the desire and passion. They miss out on creating with you because the Promethean fire is also about channeling all that energy into creation. And so again, and this person saw that. They saw that with you. They knew that they would have had a good life. They purposely held back. They thought that they were going to hold on to both of you. They decided to stay in a low vibration and said, well, I'm going to roll the dice and see whether or not I can be with both of you at the same time. But now they're stuck with the karmic alone, and the karmic is boring. The karmic doesn't have an identity. The karmic's mission is all about holding on to them. So, you know, omniscience, again, more of the universe. This person knew exactly who you are, Christ consciousness. Again, they knew that they would have had to step it up into the highest level of consciousness to be with you. But that's what a twin flame does. They're ready to be the divine counterpart. So they're realizing now who you are. Self-observation. I said that. So again, that's what I knew. I knew it. And again, it's making them awaken. Because spirit descending is that to unlock DNA. So even though this person is going to feel the loss of you, because you're never coming back, it pushed them into an awakening to help them. The unlocking DNA, understand when we hold on to trauma, it affects our physical health. The ancestral and the generational karma that's held within our DNA gets activated by our behaviorisms and our habits. So sickness and disease is only 5% inherited. However, when we copy the same habits and behaviorisms, we manifest the same things. And I'm feeling like this karmic had a parent that was a cheater, was a liar, had lived by their addictions, lived by their lower self. And they stayed in a connection that they didn't really want to stay in, that they stayed in a connection with the karmic, and that made them like kind of check out. So this person never really had a mother or a father. That's what that looks like. So they learned to be the one that was fully in control. They learned not really to be vulnerable, not to have relationships. But what I see here is you are a twin flame. This was a divine connection that they crapped all over. They realize it now, but because you're not going to be with them, it's actually like awakening them to again unlock their DNA, to awaken to the traumas that they've inherited and how they're repeating the same cycles. No lie. Clear family karma. That's why. That's for this person. That's what it was. It was to heal the karma. So are they going to feel the fact that you're not in their life? Yes. They're going to suffer for the rest of their life because you're the one that got away. You can't be a twin flame, almost a twin flame. It's almost like they'll be thinking back for the rest of their life, shoulda, woulda, coulda, because that energy was a divine connection that they actually prevented from moving forward because they were like, well, I don't want to really I don't really want to have to step it up. I always have a place to run to being connected to this karmic. I don't have to live with them. I could be in a relationship with 1,000 different people. I don't have to do anything. This person does everything for me. And when I leave for long periods of time, they make a big to-do and they cry and they scream and they fight for me, and that fills my ego. And the karmic knows it. So that's why that happens. So when we end off with, I always have to end it off with one card from this deck, the Healing Energy Oracle, to be like, okay, well, is there any other advice except for the fact that we had to give ourselves self-love? Because that's pretty much what this was. It's like you being connected to someone that's playing games with you, not telling you what's going on, that every time you try and talk to them, they withdraw, they're defensive, keeping you stuck, wanting to hold on to you, but not giving you anything. And not really giving anyone anything, by the way, but definitely not giving you anything. And so what Spirit said is, yeah, well, it was to cleanse yourself of, the behaviorisms that you were taught in childhood, which was that, you're not worthy. You're not worthy. So you didn't love yourself because, again, they didn't give you time and attention. You weren't allowed to be vulnerable. You weren't allowed to find your own rhythm to go with the flow of life. You were controlled. You were manipulated. You were gaslit. And that was because you had to, again, conform to whatever the environment was. So it was a cleansing for you. And that's a pretty big, spiritual test, the self-love one. We don't realize, we think, well, all I was nice. I didn't really give this person. Spirit said the moment that this person was playing games with you, was the moment that you should have walked away. But you kept seeing this person, you kept trying to talk to this person over a period of time, which is what solidified this person's perception to that you weren't going to go anywhere, that they could have both of you. That's why. You didn't have to do anything. The person was so cocky and that's the thing that we need to the takeaway before I pull from this deck. The takeaway is that it's like when a person, we think that is playing games with us and we think that we're not really giving them that much. Well, Spirit's saying, well, you don't know what else they're doing. They're talking to a lot of other people, not just you. So they always have the upper hand, because they have someone to run back to. They don't really want to be with that person all the time, but they like what that person does for them. Makes their life easy, makes their life comfortable. So, you were basing what they would do on who you are, not on who they are. And that's why self-love is so important. Because when we love ourselves enough, we're not going to overgive to the wrong person. We'll actually have really good discernment of how much to give. Wisdom. This is God's message to us. God has a plan for you. Live here now, knowing beauty is to come. Don't force things to happen. The universe has decided for you. Learn from your experiences. Take small steps in faith and succeed thanks to all your efforts. So the wisdom is why you met this person. And what it is that spirit saying it's like, trust that the universe has a plan. The moment that this person was playing games with you, as we said, you should have walked away. However, you can walk away. What was I going to say? That the universe, that when you put it in the universe's hands, you don't need to control. Like this person giving you such a small breadcrumbs and you continually being there hoping that they're going to give more, or assuming just because there's a connection, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of desire. Spirit saying, are you trying to make it into something that it's not? Because of the passion and desire, because I know what you want more than you know what you want. I'm going to bring you someone that obviously you have passion and desire for, and vice versa. And they're going to be a twin flame. This was a fake twin flame because they were not ready to step it up. But believe me, they're going to have a very hard time going back to doing what they were doing, because it's like once you experience a twin flame connection, you never experienced anything like it before. This is a divine connection. This person had the opportunity to step it up. Their life would have been better. Now they're stuck in a place of blandness and boring, and it's like, there's not going to be anything. There's not going to, the karmic's not going to fight for them. Now it's like, there's no, your person's addicted. I don't even want to call him your person. This person's addicted to passion. And they don't care whether they create the drama for it or whatever. They're run by their addictions. So I'm gonna end that there, Scorpio. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.